Welcome, beautiful souls, to Enchanted Moments Podcast. I'm Monica,
I'm Spencer.
and I want to talk about what everybody's going through energetically right now,
Okay.
because we've had a lot of people come in and comment on the fact that they are sad, they're having nightmares, they're feeling more depressed, physically uncomfortable. And so I know that I have started a new routine where I do everything when I go to bed as opposed to when I get up, because I find I'm always tired when I get up. So
Yeah.
I do it at night. And what I've been doing is, the first thing I do is turn on the theta frequencies, which is supposed to be good for deep sleep. So I do
Okay.
that. Then I do what I'm grateful for. And then we all shift happily. And then I've been doing, because it has been a real challenging time, and sometimes we take into consideration that it's just us, but I don't think that's the case now. But I always ask that I get information from higher beings that is for their highest good or mine, and then I sort of just do some breathing and hopefully go to sleep. So I went out and looked at like 5 different podcasts about what people thought was going on right now, so that you're not just making something up in your head that you think is happening, right? And most of them all had the same thing to say, from solstice through middle of July. Some actually went through middle of August. There's a lot of challenging energy. We're getting a huge influx of energy that is pushing people towards being more, towards their ascension, or just towards making spiritual change. So if you're ready, it's just sort of speeding things up for you. If you're not quite ready, then you're going to feel some of these other things, like unhappy or sad or whatever, because it's challenging us to change. And it's all subconscious. It's not something that they're going, here, change, be more than you are. It's just pushing. And so those who aren't quite ready or haven't made the commitment are going to feel challenges. So you're going to feel blue. You're going to feel like it's a tough day.
Yeah.
It may feel physically like a tough day, mentally like a tough day. It's not anything in particular for any given person. It's just going to be challenging.
Yeah.
So what's happening through all these different people's interpretations and what they're getting as downloads is that all this energy is coming in all at once and really powerfully. So I guess they're getting bored that we're not moving fast enough. I don't know. But the people that I pulled up to listen to, some it's higher beings, some it's higher self, some is Pleiadians, some is Arcturians, and everything is the same. So it's
Like all the energies are those things.
yeah,
Okay.
that all the output is the same. So it's interesting to find multiple different sources of information coming through people that is all agreeing. It's crazy, actually. But one person suggested it was like peeling an onion. Of course, all I could think of was the Shrek movie. But,
Yeah.
mental things. But when you think about it, it is very similar, because we're trying to get rid of and eliminate all those things that are holding us back and causing us not to be fully where we're supposed to be spiritually, humanly, whatever. And so it's going to feel like maybe this layer came off, and then we're working on the next layer and working on the next layer. And I think, wow, that's pretty good allegory for whatever's going on. But it's all about accepting, sitting back and just accepting the energy, as opposed to challenging it ourselves. And I think we need to remind ourselves that we're only going to be able to go as fast as we can. Every individual person is unique and different. So not to judge ourselves against any kind of standard, because there isn't one, right? There is no standard that you have to be here on certain times, you have to be here at certain times. I do think that people are going through all kinds of different things right now, because if you listen to what's going on with all the information coming out of the government about the files that they've hidden on aliens and craft and what they've been able to get, I think you're going to have people going through things like anger, because how dare they? I'm really tired personally of someone telling me what I can and cannot handle, because let me tell you, we've been way ahead of them for years. So that's annoying. And then the fact that there's probably all kinds of technology that gives us free energy, that we have probably all kinds of things that would help our health care, and that they've been held back. And the only reason I can think of is so someone can make money off of it. So that is annoying, but there's a lot going on right now. And it's just important for us to take that time, either at the beginning of the day or at the end of the day, and give ourselves a moment to just sit back and go, okay, what have I gone through today? What is going through my mind? What am I feeling? And then, sort of let go of the feelings that aren't going to help, and leave ourselves open for information. And I keep waiting, and I think that I'm getting information because I get these little spurts of insight, if you want to call it that, either in the morning or through my day, that I can't really say where it came from. So I'm hoping that when I ask for communication from higher beings, that I'm actually getting information. I don't have any physical feelings that I can name that say, oh, that was a download. A lot of people get information from your higher self, etc., and they can name it. They can say, oh, I felt that happen, or I can't say that. It would be a lie. So I'm just saying that we're probably getting more information than we think we are, and trust those insights and flashes of intuition, because our third eyes are opening up and we're getting more information every single day. We need to accept it. And I think I'm going to sneeze. Sorry, people. It's really bad allergy time. I don't know about you. The weather is awful. So I just wanted to mention a couple things, because I love the onion allegory. And there are a lot of what people are naming as multidimensional energies.
Okay.
So, when you hear things from people, it may not say what it is, but that's a good coverall for me, multidimensional energy, because then who knows where it came from. But as long as you stated that you want it to be for your highest good, or theirs, then I would trust that, because we know that discernment is super important now more than ever. But I think when you're receiving downloads and you've asked for that to occur, unless you feel very uncomfortable sitting with that information, I would just accept it and go on from there. But there's a lot. And people are saying embrace it or resist it. And so I don't think most people are consciously saying embrace it or resist it, but I think subconsciously, unconsciously, sometimes we are willing to accept and embrace some things, but not others, So, it's a little, I don't know, challenging, I guess, is a good word for it, on many levels. But just be aware if you're getting feelings and information and intuitively finding things occurring, then you can question that and ask, your higher self to kind of give you more of a push in one direction or another, so that you're getting, but we need to use those skills that we probably don't every day to help us through periods like this. It's a huge period of change. And there was another person who's called things invitations. And that's kind of a nice way to think about it, that someone is inviting you to think a different way, feel a different way, accept different things. And of course, invitations have that you can accept or reject. So if someone offers you an invitation, I would suggest we try to accept just about all of them, see what happens. Certainly can't, all you can do is change it. I mean, it's not, written in cement. You can just kind of go with that flow and see what happens. But I think that that's a nice way to think about those opportunities. The other thing is try to be open to no matter what you get intuitively. I think right now there's probably a lot of different energetic beings that are trying to have a positive influence on us. I'm sure there are some that are not as positive because that's the way the universe works. But if you get information or you feel a certain way or some visual comes to mind, whatever, I would sit with those for a while. Accept that they're there and then get a feeling from it. Because I think we're going to be challenged to accept some new thought processes and ideas coming forward, because we know we're not alone, right? We know we're not alone. And I'm sure that other worldly beings have been working with, we know they have angels that worked with us. Our spirit guides are other worldly beings. There's all kinds of animal beings out there that have been helping us spirit guide-wise. So just open that door a little farther, because I think we probably have soul families that not only exist here but other places, whether that's the 5th dimension, the 4th dimension, the 10th dimension, who knows. But I think we've got people out there that are trying to assist us in our journey, and I think you just open that door a little farther and see what comes through. And if it makes you uncomfortable, then don't. That is a key thing, because either A, we're not ready for that, it's just more than we can deal with at a particular time, or, it may not be for us. So, but sit with it a while, just kind of get what it feels like, and if it makes sense to you on any level. Doesn't mean you have to take it all at once either. Take a little bit and then see what comes along. And if the next step is too much, don't do it, but don't retreat back into an old belief system. We need to open up those beliefs. There's so many things that, are available to us. It's kind of interesting because, say you're like Egyptian, they really have sold the idea that these people put those stones up there one at a time. And did it all in 20 years or something. Okay, that is a very strong belief system, especially amongst archaeologists. I mean, they're very fixated on physical evidence, which, hey, that's great, right? We want physical evidence in all cases, but they just found all this stuff under the Great Pyramid. There's an entire, I don't know what you want to call it. They're calling it potentially a city or a whatever. And so now they're going, oh, well, maybe this changes our history. And I'm thinking, good for you. I mean, you could just deny it and close up the whatever and not let anybody look. Or you can say, hey, hello, this could be new information that we've never taken into consideration before. And so we're going to look at it and make judgments based on what we find. That's kind of how we have to do it. Not just for physical things, but for belief systems. So they're all tied together, but if somebody finds 7 skeletons of giants, you have to accept that at some point in time, there were some giants. Now, we don't mean that there's like whole populations that covered the earth, or that they just showed up and died. We have to kind of take that information and decide what that means to you, until they decide what it means to them. But so many things are coming into possibility now, and things that had been hidden are coming out, and it's that astrological time. We're going to have a lot of hidden information that's coming out. It is the age of Aquarius, so we are moving into an intellectual kind of discovery time, and also all kinds of new ideas. I mean, new ways of thinking, new inventions. It's a very dynamic time. And so it can be scary and challenging, but I suggest we just take a deep breath and get excited, because there's so much more out there to find that we haven't yet. Every time we find something that's 20,000 years old or 40,000 years old, people are going, oh wait, there weren't any people here till 17,000 years ago. Well, yeah, guess what? It's now 40,000. So you just have to kind of, instead of going, oh no, what does that mean? Just go, hey, exciting. Let's just see what happens. You never know. We could have entire populations we didn't even know about, And I think that would be cool, personally. But, everybody's different.
Yeah.
Everybody's different. And nobody's trying to tell you that you have to change your belief system. Absolutely not. Just be open to some ideas and make yourselves think about things a little differently. And you may find that it's energizing and stimulating rather than scary. Yeah, who knows? But I don't know. What do you think about it? I mean, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on.
Yeah. I will listen and go, okay, interesting. Yeah.
Have you been experiencing any kinds of emotional or...
Oh man, I've been depressed, but...
I think that's true for a lot of people right now. And, I had to look at it and go, why am I feeling so much more, down and hard to get energy going and something? And I mean, I had a death in the family, which is a, grief does that too. But I think the more and more I hear from people, and people who are spiritually aware, they're not, it's not just, people who are coming into their own right now. It's people who've been on a spiritual path for long periods of time are finding, they're having nightmares, or they're having all these weird dreams, and I think that's probably
I've had some odd dreams.
I've had some doozies, but but I think that helping recognize what may be the cause sometimes alleviates some of the not problem, but results of the problem, or results of what's going on. So we can think about it and say, okay, I'm feeling a little bit more down this last week or so. Why would that be? And then if you really can't come up with a individual idea of what may have caused it, then accept that the energy's probably pushing, and it can be a dark night of the soul, which we hope we only have one in a lifetime, but boy, it seems like we're getting a lot more of those little moments that are coming into being, that push us to look at things differently. That's the only way I can think about it in a positive way is to say, yes, you're experiencing it, accept that it's an experience, and then what can we do to change that? And when it comes pouring over you in a day or two again, look at maybe what you're struggling with. So is it an idea? Is it a person? Is it, anything? Beliefs, career, family, whatever. And try to find the source of that. And if it's not immediately available, then I would say, you're probably being challenged on an energetic level to make some changes. And so look at what we can do differently. I think that's the positive way of looking at it. Because everybody's going through it. Apparently this is not unique to us as individuals. So I would suggest, I mean, our podcast is great, obviously. Check out some other people and see, because it may either confirm or reject what you're feeling. And sometimes just knowing that other people are experiencing similar things is helpful. I found it helpful. You know, I mean, it's nice to think, yeah, that's probably true, but it's nice to hear it from other people as well.
Absolutely.
So, you know, check out some other information and see, and always be discerning. Not everybody is, you know, giving you information that is perfect for you. That you don't have to. You can accept parts of it or none of it, but I would suggest just either talking with people. I mean, obviously people have come in here and said, this is going on, what's going on, you know, and so we can say, hey, this is what's happening astrologically, or this is what we found out energetically, and it can be helpful. So don't hesitate to seek out additional information. And we appreciate you. So check it out. Think about all these lovely new ideas coming in, and check us out next time. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.